All right, so I'm going to call the meeting to order at 6 o'clock. Do I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from November 20th?
Motion to approve the minutes from November 20th.
I second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I as well. Ginger, not Ginger, I'm sorry. Janine,
Yes.
do you want to go through the solar and the different stuff that's on here?
Yes.
Okay.
So I spoke to Chris McCarthy from Sun Power regarding some solar information, and the town's benefit with having rooftop solar for our municipality buildings would lower our cost on our energy bills. This would be a 20-year program. They work together with any grant opportunities. There are a couple of different programs. The town could lease the solar panels, or we could get into a pilot program. And I believe pilot stands for in lieu of taxes.
Okay.
So he also explained that if we were to lease, Sun Power would remove the panels at the end of the 20-year contract, so we wouldn't have to worry about removal. If the town is interested in a solar field, we would need between, I think the minimum is 5 acres up to 25 acres. One panel generates 395 watts. If we were to do a field, it would be a couple hundred panels. That's a lot of power. So I'm taking a webinar on Friday, December 7th, and that's going to explain a Green Communities program. It's called SMART, and that stands for Solar Massachusetts Renewable Target. And they're going to talk about an incentive program that Holland might be interested in, might benefit us.
And that's Green Communities is
Yes.
offering that?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's it
Okay.
for what I have thus far.
Okay. All right. Mune Energy contract? Did I say that right?
Yeah. Should I stand? Should I sit?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Go ahead.
I reached out to Janine as your electricity contract is expiring with December meter reads. I believe you have a copy of your contract, and the very last page should have 2 accounts listed that are included in the previous contract as well in the future one.
Okay.
So basically, you were under contract through Mune Energy until December 2018 meter reads, and in the pricing that I provided you, you have extension numbers. So I provided you 12, 24, 36, 48, and 60. I explained to Janine that those rates change daily. So if you were vote tonight and you would, agreed on a term, I would do my best to hold those numbers. But the market could change, and we may need to refresh that, those pricing.
Okay.
I also would like to go over the benefits of the MMA Mune Energy contract. You have them in front of you, but I would just like to, point out a couple key things. So the very important one, that the contract is negotiated by the MMA's attorney, and if you have any questions, you can definitely reach out to him. There's no cost, and I'm able to answer any questions as well. The new thing that's been added since your last contract is that you can add or delete any accounts. So let's say you sign a 3-year contract, right? And a year down the road you decide to build a new library or new school or something else, and you want to add that to your existing contract. You would be able to do that at the contract rate that we signed.
Okay.
So many towns and cities I work with, they have taken this advantage. This is definitely a huge plus. You also have ability to add any green if you want to add solar or any other renewable power. There's no penalty in doing so. We just need a 120-day notice. We're just asking you to notify that. So there's no bandwidth. In other words, it doesn't matter if you use we base our pricing on historical, so what you used in the past. That's how our pricing works. But if you use less going forward, there's going to be no penalty. You're just going to pay the fee that's on your contract.
Okay.
55-day payment terms. I think that's important. For all the towns and cities. Your we're gonna put our charges on National Grid's bill. That's the same as right now. So basically, you're gonna get your charges for transmission and distribution on National Grid's bill, and then you're gonna see the supplier Constellation, so it's the same bill, and you can take advantage of net metering credits if you're doing so right now, or if you're gonna do in the future. That, that allows you to do that. Dedicated business development manager, so that would be me. If you have, like I said, if you have any questions or any issues, you can contact me, directly.
Okay.
So this is something so 5 years ago probably, I'm not sure if you heard of winter reliability. That was a change in law that ISO New England implemented. It basically said all generators that are able to back up with oil, if you're going to be called upon, you're going to have to go ahead and do so. And it was a very cold winter, and that those generators were called on to do that. So there was this winter liability cost that was passed on to the suppliers, and suppliers passed it on to their customers. As with our partnership with MMA, Constellation chose not to do so for the customers that were under contract during that time. So for some municipalities, it saved a lot of money. It's just something, to be aware of, that some things that MMA does with partnership with Constellation. And the last thing is a green GRIP program. So we would green up your town hall account with 100% wind at no cost to you, and you can market that any way you want.
Okay.
I didn't think towns were available, RECs were not available to towns and municipalities.
I'm not sure what you mean. They are. So we would buy those RECs on behalf of you, right? We would say this town hall is 100% green. I'm not sure what you mean it's not available.
I'm thinking of the credits for
Yeah.
energy.
Yep.
Is the RECs the same as that credit?
No, I think you're talking about net metering credits,
Yes, I am.
but they're available, so that's something different.
So what are the green?
So RECs are renewable energy certificates. So basically, we're gonna go ahead and buy green power, 100% wind on behalf of you, and say, this town hall is 100% green. And that's gonna be a windmill in, it's not necessarily locally, but somewhere, in Texas or Ohio, just.
So what's the benefit of the RECs to us?
So many communities do value that. I mean, they take, I know that many towns definitely like to have that benefit. You can also buy some locally sourced RECs, but they would be a lot more expensive just because of all the programs that are going on, in the state.
Okay.
So it's saving us cost.
It's not really saving you, saving or costing you. We do that at no cost to you. There's no cost to you, right?
Right.
And also the rate, so I provided 12 to 60 month terms, and then I showed what would be your annual budget if you went at that rate. And that's based on the annual usage for the two accounts.
So that's our street and buildings accounts.
So the two accounts are listed on a contract. I think you would have to double check, where they were on a previous contract, so that's what's included right now. It has a service address listed.
I don't know if we can match up anything.
No,
No.
it's not.
It doesn't?
So we'll have to find out where, no, he was looking at our ledger.
There's a ledger and nothing matches to those, so I'm not sure what those two accounts are.
Do the account numbers match or no?
No.
Oh, what's on that? So what we'll have to do is we'll have to do some more research and find out where these actually are.
I'll check the National Grid bill, because they're gonna be stated in the back.
Yeah, that would be great.
It
Okay.
could be, it doesn't say, but it could be schools, because some
Yeah.
towns, they like to include schools on a town contract.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times the town administrator would sign on behalf of school, so they would include town accounts as well as school accounts. You can do that. I don't know if that's the case here. This contract was signed before my time.
Right. Well, one says pole 5 and the other one says pole 5X, so where's the Fiskdale intersection?
I'm thinking it's up.
It's
That way.
nothing around us.
So, all right, so yeah, we're gonna have to look
We'll
into,
get
get
to
more,
this.
more research into this and find out where our 2 accounts are and what this is.
Okay, just so you know, the renewal, the deadline is coming up.
Okay.
You know, tomorrow, like, you need to
Okay.
either decide or do something. Any other questions?
No, I thank you very much for coming. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
All right, we have the ADA Commission.
Yes, I received a couple of messages from a Mr. Adrian Pucci with the Mass Office on Disability in Boston.
Okay.
And it is their recommendation that we gather an ADA commission. We gather people and create a commission so that we are always in compliance with the up and coming changes. We have to post certain things on our walls about ADA grievances, and I think we need a chair, like somebody who's the head of this commission. We need, so we have to appoint the appropriate people. So I had a conversation, during the conversation I had with him, I told him that we were having a meeting tonight and that you would, so I could explain to you what they're, I think I sent you a letter like a couple months ago, they wrote to us, so.
Well, I'd like to make a motion that we get a commission set up.
Make them up, that's second, or so moved.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So we will set that up and we'll just have to figure out who we're gonna put on it and
Yes.
from which departments, okay? Class 2 auto dealer license?
We're awaiting more information from the owner, and I haven't received anything back, and I wanted to put it on the agenda tonight, just in case he had all that information together,
Okay.
but unfortunately, he doesn't at this time. So I'm thinking maybe we table this for the
Table.
20th.
All right, so let's table that and then until you hear more from him.
Yes.
Okay. All right, town official IDs.
Yes, so I spoke to Chief Hoy. He brought up the fact that only certain staff has state-issued IDs. He would like for some of the town officials who are in the field and are out of the building to have an official town of Holland ID.
So
And
that would be like,
you, Ernie, Larry, me, that would be
but you also
the
need
assessors,
the assessors, the planning
conservation,
board.
the planning board, ZBA, the poll workers, just get a generic one that says poll workers on there,
Okay.
okay? Anybody that does any town business, official business, outside of this building should have an ID.
And you figured out we could do that here, right? We could make them up?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
We have the machine to do it,
Okay.
and Ginger is going to be helping me with that. So Ginger and I are going to be, with your approval, if you feel this way, we would come up with a schedule. I'm also going to provide a list of who needs them, and the chief also would like an expiration date on these, so we figured we could go by the date of appointment, their last day of appointment, and their last day of when they're an elected official.
Okay.
Okay, so probably some will be annually, some will be every 3 years,
Okay.
depending on their appointment.
So are these gonna be picture IDs?
Yes,
Okay.
photo IDs,
So what do you want from us? A motion to?
yes, to accept it.
To accept it.
Yeah, motion to accept official IDs for the town employees.
Or town officials, because we're not all employees.
10 employees and officials?
That would be good. All right, I second it. So all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now, the Sickles property you wanted to talk about, so.
Did you see the printout?
The way the Sickles property is proposed, I'm not too enthused with it. They're proposing that we maintain control of 17 acres abutting Stafford Road, and that we pay some $235,000, which may have gone up now since we don't have a grant. And that's like over half the price for 10% of the property. So I did some research into the GIS data, and it involves 3 parcels of land, which is shown here. The total assessed value for those 3 pieces of property is $234,500. Also, the acreages add up to 200.19 acres.
How many?
200.
Okay.
So I don't know where this 170 came from.
I thought there was a piece in it that really wasn't part of it. That was sold to, I don't know.
I don't know. When I looked at GIS, those 3 properties were listed as owned by Sickle. So, and the other thing is that the zoning,
I'm here for the joint meeting of, with the LLC. There's one at 6:30.
This is Selectmen's meeting.
Okay, well, I'm here.
That's next week. That's next week. That's the next
No, I
meeting.
got it for December 3rd. Oh, okay.
so, also that they claim that the 17 acres was zoned as commercial property. Looking at what I inquired off of the GIS again, it showed 339 feet of commercially zoned property. So with the frontage of 910 feet, that says that there are 7.1 acres of commercial property. That's not 17 acres. To be 17 acres of commercial property, it would have to be zoned to 813 feet deep.
Okay.
Also, there is lots abutting the Blodgett Road, and those have a frontage abutting the Stafford Road of 1,765 feet.
Okay.
What's the zoning there? Is that agricultural residential?
That is zoned as
So there's
agricultural.
So 300 feet of frontage requirement, 3 acres.
Yeah, so that would possibly get us to 5 lots that meet town requirements. And I would think that we would want to maintain any real estate that is on road foot frontage. Because with the Blodgett Road frontage, we could possibly get 5 lots for future use or resell for some money and get future taxes on. So I think we have to work a little bit more on this Sickle arrangement
I guess
with the people.
I guess the question is, what's acceptable to our partners in terms of the, and then, I mean, no, I understand your point, and I think financially it's worth exploring, especially the potential of recovering our expense, a lot of our expenses through the sale potentially of buildable lots that already have frontage, so.
I guess I'd like, the board's permission, or that we work more with the Oakham Trust and see if we can come up with a better arrangement.
I'll second that. But is there anything else I want to say? I mean, I guess the next step would be to put together in some sort of, readable, understandable format, what you're proposing, including, a narrative with some bullet points and a map, to show the areas that are in question.
Well, the one thing I want to say about it is I think I wouldn't do anything till we find out if we even get that one grant, because if we don't get it, the whole thing is dead anyways.
Who's proposing to the town the $235,000 for the 17 acres? Is
That's
that
Oakham Trust.
Oakham Trust?
Oakham Trust on the
Opaque-
Trails
opaque-
Committee.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
Opaque.
Okay, and so when they gave you this information with the other group, and you're finding conflicting with it, interesting, correct? That's what I just heard.
You're finding some differences, is what you're
Yes.
saying, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
and that's really I think the first due diligence we, as a town, has done on Opakam. I mean, we've just basically accepted what they've given us at face value at this point.
Yes.
But so I think we'll have to have a meeting with them, but I think we need to wait and find out, because if we don't get that other grant,
Well, we've lost one, so,
if we don't get the other one, it's a total loss.
But I mean, it doesn't hurt doing some work.
Oh, no, I'm not
upfront.
saying it's,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, but I mean, like, if we don't get it, it doesn't, so, okay. I have no problem with us getting together with them and going over what you've come up with,
okay.
all right? All right, 2019 seasonal population increase estimate form.
Yes. It should be, it's one single paper in back there after Opakam. There it is.
Okay.
So I spoke to the town clerk, and right now our current population is 2,506 people, and she estimates maybe a growth of 10 for 2019.
You said 2,506?
2,506 people
Okay.
currently. She thinks that it might grow maybe 10 people. So I just need you all to sign that, and I have to send that to the state.
Okay.
Thank you.
So have a motion to sign this?
Second. Or I'll make the motion, since the chair can't.
Second?
Yes.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Appointments, Lake Oversight Committee appointment, Dory, I'm gonna kill your last name, I'm sorry.
Parents,
And Marcia Lee. Do I have a motion to appoint them to Lake Oversight Committee?
No motion to appoint the members to the Lake Oversight Committee.
Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, warrant sign, payroll, $93,957.55. Accounts, did you get that?
Yep.
Accounts payable, $65,566.81. And now we have public access. Does anybody have anything? Okay.
I'd like to know when you have a meeting with Oakham Trust.
Okay. It'll be posted, and you'll know, but we'll let you know. All right, I'm making a motion to adjourn the meeting at 6:24.
I came here late, but I'll second it anyways.
Okay. All right. Thank you all.